He says, I rather have the slab. The issue before the nation
you are, Mr. Mittal, a master politician. Mr. Mittal, you are a master politician. You remind me of that wonderful book.
If buying and selling of MLAs is justified for Congress, I have nothing to say.
You remind me of the title of Field Marshal Slim's wonderful book, Defeat into Victory. You've converted defeat into victory by the choicest explanation. My congratulations to you, sir. It's a lesson for all of us.
I think it's the morality and the probity which is more important than anything else.
All right, let's take a break at that point. When we come back, we're going to ask real hard politics. Can Harish Rawat win tomorrow? Could the BJP pull a rabbit out of the hat and do a miracle? And what about the morality of the night that precedes tomorrow's vote? Will we see frantic, or are we already seeing frantic horse trading? Is money changing sides as MLAs are being bought to ensure that one side or the other has a victory? Join us in a big time for the second part of this tantalizing debate. Welcome back. You're watching To The Point, and we're discussing the Uttarakhand crisis. Abhishek Singhvi, a floor test tomorrow. How confident are you of winning? My key question is, will the PDF stay loyal to Congress, or with the BSP already questioning how they'll vote, are you in danger of losing critical support just when you need it?
Well, obviously, Karan, you're now talking of the future and therefore the unknown, but I fail to understand by what arithmetical acrobatics can a gap from 28 to 34 be bridged. I mean, we can speculate, one may go here, two may go here, BSP may not do this, that, but the real gap is 28 to 34. I believe it's an unbridgeable gap. I believe that the string of defeats, continuous and repetitive, from the pre-High Court level to the Supreme Court, has disheartened and disillusioned both the BJP camp and those who were on the borderline fence-sitters, as indeed the 9 MLAs. There was a lot of false hope generated by them, suggesting that they would get an inclusion of themselves as the 9 voters tomorrow. So all in all, only a miracle can really, and miracles do happen, I'm not saying they don't.
Can I interpret what you're saying?
Normal.
Can I interpret what you're saying?
Indian democratic majority will rule.
Can I interpret what you're saying? You're not by any stretch of the imagination saying, I'm confident we'll win. What you're saying instead is, I can't see how the other side can win. That shows to me that you've got doubts about your own performance. Otherwise, your line would have been much more...
Which is a more sober way, which is a more sober way, a less ostentatious and flamboyant way, and a less jingoistic way of saying that we are winning. If I can't see how you will win, it means that I'm winning, but it's a more sober way of saying it. And I believe logic and sobriety is more important than just doing...
I can only accept that argument if I first accept that the leopard has changed its spots, and you haven't changed your spots at all.
36.
Sobriety rather than ostentation has never been your preference, but never mind. You have every right to change your colors today, particularly when you smile so sweetly. Let me make one correction, Mr. Mittal, before I come to you. You don't need 34, as Abhishek has put the bar. You actually only need 32. But you have only 28. What are your chances of winning? Can Satpal Maharaj, as they say, do a little bit of jadoo?
We need only 31, because in a house of 62, one is the speaker, the presiding officer is the speaker, so it is a contest of 61. Whoever has 31 has it.
No, hang on a second. But what makes you think the speaker will vote for you? He's a congressman.
Abhishek.
The speaker is a congressman. What makes you so confident he'll vote for you?
It is only in case... No. He is not required to vote. It is only in case of a tie that he has a casting vote. So he doesn't vote otherwise. Now let me go further.
But if you get 31 and Congress gets 31, Congress, you need the speaker.
It can't. It is 62 ka house with one speaker, so only 61 people vote. Now that apart, let me just say, you know, Mr. Singhvi has talked about the BSP and has talked about the PDP. Mr. Singhvi, your own flock was not resentful of the corruption of Mr. Harish Rawat, why would he be distributing money left, right and center to all of them? The 12 of them get 25 lakhs, one gets 50 lakhs. If they were also committed to the good governance of Mr. Harish Rawat and so disheartened by the defeat of the BJP and all, what was the necessity of giving
क्या
money?
हकीकत ये है कि आप असलियत में ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर रावत साहब उनको पैसे देके उनकी वोट ले सकते हैं तो हम दुगना देके उनको अपने तरफ ले सकते हैं? Isn't that what you're relying on? We'll offer what they can't refuse and get the numbers we need.
Rawat Sahab is so apprehensive and so fearful of the revolt which has been brewing in the Congress that he is trying his utmost to keep them together by giving money, by offering them all kind of things, which to my mind has undermined and demolished democracy completely. And turning a blind eye to this nefarious
I'll come to you in a moment, Abhishek, don't worry.
This criminality, I would rather say.
Abhishek, Singhvi, a critical question. Have you got the money to keep your own flock by your side? After all, Congress has only got the government in Uttarakhand to fund itself. I don't think your central coffers are overflowing at the moment. So have you got the money to buy the MLAs you need or to retain them?
Haven't already spent
Karan, I have been hearing ad nauseum in this program from beginning and I have restrained myself. This constant refrain by the BJP about morality, ethics, money, purchase and sting. Now let me make it clear. I did not reply because under judgments of Bommai and this one, Brahmeshwar, a sting operation is irrelevant to 356 completely. So nobody knows the law if you talk of that. But now let me reply to that. This is nothing but entrapment attempts repeatedly. Everybody knows in India the amount of money the BJP spent as an opposition in 2014, the amount of money they spent in Bihar, far exceeds the amount of money spent by the entire country, all political parties put together. Everybody knows the naked attempts being made to buy MLAs in Uttarakhand. Mr. Harish Rawat is an innocent man who's been trapped because entrapment and sting are two separate. Entrapment and sting are two separate concepts.
I think both of you have had adequate time to blacken each other's faces. And you've given as good as you've got. I'm now going to leave the two of you out of the discussion for a moment and come to my others.
There is nothing on record against us.
No, sir. Ab aap dono ki tu mein puri ho gayi hai. Let's come back to my other guests. Sanjay Hegde, there is one real danger that we will see frantic last-minute horse trading. Whether money changes hands or not is anyone's guess, and most people would guess and say it will. Is there anything that anyone can do to prevent it?
No. It's a good time to be an MLA in Uttarakhand today. It's a very good time.
And therefore, each MLA knows that this is his opportunity in time?
These MLAs are anyway looking at an election in less than 9 months. The coffers and the watches have to be filled.
What's your feeling, Vinod? Money going to change hands fast and furiously? Could it be possible that the same MLA could be bribed by both sides without either knowing what he'll do?
I won't hazard a choice in this situation. You know, yes, of course, there is evidence against Harish Rawat in Uttarakhand today. But we have also seen Operation Kamal in Karnataka. And that was a very ingenious way of manipulating the numbers in the House by getting MLAs who were not with you to resign, you know. So, to bring down the effective strength of the House. You know, I think that this whole destabilization game is more easily done in smaller states, where the numbers you require are way smaller, and thereby the money to be invested is also way smaller.
So do you agree with what he says, that this is a night for MLAs to make their money? Both sides could bribe them without...
And of course, because I challenge anybody to prove that if MLAs are crossing from one side to another, they're doing it out of altruism, or they're doing it in service of the people. They're serving themselves. You see, because elections have become so expensive, and there is greed for money, so that if you have invested 2 crore in your election, you want to end up earning about 10 crore.
Let's come to brass tacks. Can Mr. Rawat win? He needs, as Mr. Mittal has correctly pointed out, 31. It's a House of 62. The Speaker doesn't vote unless there's a tie. So 31 is the majority. He's only got 27 of his own. There are 5 or 6 with the PDF, of whom 2 with the BSP are questioning. They're waiting for Mayawati to tell them, and who knows what Mayawati will say. In this uncertain situation, can Mr. Rawat win?
I would not like to hazard a guess, to be completely honest.
So you're not confident at all?
I am not confident about who is going to win, what kind of government we are going to have, whether finally everything will implode and you will have an election well ahead of schedule.
Anything is possible tonight.
Oh, sure.
But the one thing,
night of big sacks.
But the one thing that you're not confident of is the certainty of a Rawat victory.
No, I cannot say. I don't think. I would not hazard a guess about whether Mr. Rawat is going to win or not.
Abhishek Singhvi, after all of this, Mr. Rawat loses the vote tomorrow. People will turn around and say he fell at the last hurdle. A bit like one of those jumpers sprinting to the finishing line and falling over the last hurdle with the finishing tape in sight. Won't that be for your party a tragedy?
I agree.
Can you prevent it?
I agree, because
can you
it
prevent
is something which will rob him of a well-deserved victory at the political post. By all legitimate and legal means, he has prevented it and will prevent it. I am very confident that he will win. But certainly, this is a political process. A political process is different from a legal process. But let me tell you, God forbid he doesn't win, he will still have the satisfaction of having verdicts in his favor and a floor test in the shortest possible time in the history of 356.
Yes, but he won't have the satisfaction of returning to power, which is the only satisfaction he wants.
Bommai and Rameshwar. And that, well, yes, we are speculating now. I have no reason to doubt his victory, but yes, you are right. It will be a very sad loss at the last post.
Let me put the opposite to you, Mr. Mittal.
I think that
if the BJP, if Mr. Rawat were to be defeated, let me put this to you. If Mr. Rawat were to be defeated, how will you counter those who say, "Arey, BJP ne aur paisa khareed ke le liya"? How will you counter that?
The issue would not. The people will say the other thing. They will say कि इतना पैसा खर्च करने के बाद रावत फिर भी नहीं जीत पाया, क्योंकि लोगों में और एमएलए में इसके खिलाफ कितना ज्यादा आक्रोश था. It's not an issue of BJP, it's an issue of the Congress. Because Rawat has been caught on camera giving money and not BJP. They have not even been able to name one single MLA whom BJP has approached or offered any kind of money. But here there are 12 MLAs who have taken money. There is one who has taken 50 lakhs. There are MLAs on camera saying all what Mr. Harish Rawat has done. So that disillusionment will come to Harish Rawat. Hi, मैंने इतने पैसे खर्च करे, फिर भी नहीं जीत पाया.
I have to tell you, listening to your conversation, I say to myself, we should have all been MLAs. There's a lot more to gain from being an MLA than being a miserable journalist. But by
I think this is debasement of politics, and it is a new nather the politics has been reduced to by Mr. Harish Rawat.
Very quickly,
it saddens me.
How much of a black mark is this whole process on Indian democracy?
Well, every democracy goes through that. If you've seen even the Emancipation Proclamation, Lincoln had to do quite a few deals to get it through. Money plays a role in democracy, especially electoral democracy. I don't see it
so
as entirely
the corollary to your answer is that don't castigate yourself if corruption in politics is discovered in India, because it exists everywhere.
Well, it does exist everywhere. At best, laws can minimize it. And one thing is, I think this episode gives teeth to the Bommai judgment. This is the first time that the courts have stepped in, and in future politicians will have to be wary of the courts.
You know, when you say this judgment gives teeth to the Bommai judgment, you know what came to my mind? Is he talking of false teeth that you can take out every night?
No, the judges can clamp down anytime. It's not enough to have just the MLAs or the speaker on your side.
He has touching faith in the judiciary. He has to. They are the masters who pass the judgments on cases that he fights. But do you accept his line that we should take heart from the fact that this sort of thing happens in every democracy, that Lincoln also had to get up to backroom deals to pass the Emancipation Bill and therefore India is no worse? Or would you say that that's finding an excuse for our bad politics?
Well, you know, I don't think we live in paradise. We live among human beings, and human beings have frailties and failings. So I'm okay with that.
I'd like to another philosopher, much like him.
I'd like to see power politics. We enjoy watching that. It's a national sport in India. So
okay, so that's our conclusion.
This is political league.
Our conclusion is this is politics, this is entertainment, and at the end of the day, this is India. My thanks to all three of you for coming to studio. My thanks also to Abhishek Singhvi and Sudhanshu Mittal for joining me. And if you have been, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night.